In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey, what's up? I'm Taisha Spencer.
And I'm Rock Carter.
Welcome back to another broadcast of IYDK News.
Welcome.
Let's get this thing kicked off as we turn to the gram for this week's Hot 5.
It's time for the Hot 5.
It's time for the Hot 5.
It's the Hot 5. Yeah, you know what it is. It's the Hot 5.
Time for the
Man, it's hot. The Hot 5.
A clip of the Dear Future Wifey podcast has been making its rounds on Threads. One of the guests on this episode, wife of Pastor Kelly Steele, explains how she was graced with the grace to prepare her husband for his day with his side pieces.
I had a radical heart shift from that moment. I got in my word, under my word. I just completely changed as a person. And I realized that God loves me, that God has a purpose and plan for my life, that God chose me, that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Yeah. So he would call me out my name. It wouldn't bother me because I allowed God's voice to be louder than his. And when I was going through transition of him not coming home on the weekends, not being there, telling me I hate you, I'll never love you, I wish I never married you, I knew that life and death is in the power of the tongue through the word of God. So I would say, you will love me one day. We will have a good marriage one day. And although he would go out for weekends, I would literally help him get ready to go meet a side chick by ironing his clothes and getting ready for the night. And these are all things I was graced to do. I would not encourage anybody to do that unless you are graced by God to do this. But once I knew who I was, I realized I had a radical...
She said she helped him get ready for his side chick.
Iron his clothes because she was graced for it. Are you graced?
Hell no. No. I have to help my man get ready to go be with his side chick.
You know what? But that's if that's a calling on your life, girl. If that is a calling, you got to say yes. You got to surrender it all.
They all going to hell. That is foolish.
That's okay. And all jokes aside, that's kind of different. That's kind of different. And I feel like okay. So I was looking into the story a little more. Mm-hmm. They have been married now like 27 years or something like that. Mm-hmm. Right? And this was earlier on. He wasn't a pastor at the time. But thank God he wasn't a pastor. Why are you looking like that?
Because I'm waiting on you to justify this.
I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying, but like she was a believer and he wasn't. And she was just basically...
Who was she believing in? Because God wouldn't have told her to do that. What are we doing here?
I ain't gonna front. That's kind of stretching it. Like, I understand when you in a space and God is dealing with you and He give you specific instructions. Sometimes it sounds strange, but that I don't know.
Is that why I'm still single? Because God ain't told me to go help him with his side chick.
That's probably why you're still single, because He did tell you to do it and you didn't do it.
You know what?
When you find that man and you help him with his side chick, you can be just like them, married. And he has a church. Now he's a pastor, and they grew from a little living room church to 10,000 members. Look at God.
God don't like ugly. He don't like side chicks either, so this story is so full of shit.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Ladies, do what you're supposed to have grace for.
Tabitha Brown, somebody who would not do that, celebrating 22 years of marriage with her husband, Chance. She decided to share her joy with the rest of the world via a post of a photo shoot of the happy couple, accompanied with the caption, "After 27 years together and 22 years married, today I still love you down. I like you real bad, babe." She ain't talking like that. Look at us. Happy anniversary, babe. Oh God, I thank you. This is a lot. 123,000 people went on to show their support for the couple with the heart. I love them, and they do what works for them.
They do.
Like, she retired him.
Yeah.
And she paying all the bills.
Yeah. And God has graced her to make him the great man that he is.
And when she's no longer the moneymaker, guess where he gonna go? To a side chick.
See,
because that's how y'all are wired.
I can't even talk to you.
That's fine.
Even talk to you.
Just saying.
Okay. Congratulations, Tabitha Brown.
Yes.
And Chance. Mixed opinions begin to flood the comments as this clip of Tracy Ellis Ross, daughter of legendary Diana Ross, began to circulate. She appears on the IMO or Emo podcast, I think it's Emo, hosted by former First Lady Michelle Obama and Craig Robinson, talking about why she most often dates younger men. The Shade Room posted this clip.
A lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity.
and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession or whatever those things were, or prize, I have no interest in it, and I will not do it again.
So she's ready to be the controller, is what she's basically saying.
I guess she, yeah, I guess.
Because that's usually what it is. Like, whoever's dealing with that age gap, the older person is the one who kind of takes the control of the relationship.
Yeah. She talking about the toxic masculinity of older men, and I guess the younger men, they're not so toxic, I guess.
Or masculine. I mean, if you want to be real.
That's funny.
So I want to know the age gap here.
Next.
The Urban Throwback page graced us with this gem of a story involving a man named Horace Shaw. In the moment he was bombarded at his home by his wife, accompanied by Joey Greco and the Cheaters production crew. Let's enjoy the nostalgia together and take a look at how this moment went down and the shocking end to the story.
Vanessa Shaw is
His name is Horace. Of course he's a whore. Why did she go back?
Because he said he didn't do it. I don't care if the woman was naked.
Right.
He did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Oh my gosh. That just pissed me off.
Yeah.
Men are so stupid.
Yeah,
Women are so dumb.
That's what you thought about the lady who was graced to iron her man's pants for his side chick.
I wonder if God told her that
he didn't do it, even though she was naked in the bath. You know what, man? Sometimes y'all do this to yourself. Sometimes y'all do it to yourself.
No, it's.
Sometimes you do it to yourself.
It's that the other chick, she said that he was messing with somebody over town. That was probably okay because it went in her face and she didn't see it.
She said over town.
In the church.
At every job she ever worked at. So he been sleeping with chicks at at her job.
Baby boy was about them.
And then, but somehow or another, she believes that he didn't sleep with the naked one that he found in their house. You did that to yourself. Stupid gonna be stupid. But if it's your calling, if you are graced, hey,
That just gave me a headache.
I'm sorry. Right. And last but not least, IYDK's very own Taisha Spencer debuts her podcast with this clip of her second episode explaining why she wouldn't mind going on a blind date with the legendary Stevie Wonder. Let's take a look.
So, I wouldn't bring you Stevie Wonder, if I was
listen, I'll do a Stevie Wonder, because he can't see no other bitch with me. Listen.
It's true.
So you gonna date a blind man?
If that's the only way I could be happy in a relationship is by a man not being able to see another bitch.
He's gonna be like, I got eyes. I only got eyes for you.
Disability checks and fidelity is on point.
Yeah, you put it like that, I guess. I don't know. I'm just
you, and he a liar.
Right. Because you can't even see me.
Right.
Why would you put that in there?
Because I wanted to show the world the real you.
They see the real me here.
Yeah, she's pretending young. She ain't even got no pants on behind this desk.
There's sweatpants. I ain't got no pants on. You running a sweatshop in here.
It is hot dog. But no, please tune in to your podcast. What's the name of it?
The Audacity of Us podcast.
The Audacity of Us podcast. They're on the second episode on YouTube, correct?
Yes.
All right, please subscribe. That is all for our Hot 5 today. Please stay locked in with IYDK News for the latest in the social media streets.
The first all-female space flight since 1963 took off on April 14th. The passengers included pop singer Katy Perry, host of CBS Mornings and Oprah's bestie, Gayle King, pilot and the fiancé of Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, right? That's his name. Yep, Lauren Sanchez, Former NASA rocket scientist and STEM entrepreneur Aisha Bozie. Is it Bozie? I don't know. Civil rights activist and Nobel Peace Prize nominee Amanda Nguyen. Lastly, film producer Carrie Ann Flynn. The journey was live streamed, and takeoff up until landing was a total of about 11 minutes in travel time. This once-in-a-lifetime experience has several people on social media questioning the validity of the 11-minute travel to outer space.
Yeah, you think they really did it?
No, they didn't do it. No, the girl, Katy Perry, tried to open the capsule door.
I saw that.
Yeah, like, you can't do that.
Oh, how do you know? You've been in the capsule?
It's supposed to be from you. It's a safety thing. Like, you can't get out of it. If that was the case, what's the crew needed for? If you could just go in and open it from the inside, like...
I was looking at that myself. And everybody who's never been on a spaceship capsule has a lot to say about what you can do on a spaceship capsule.
Nobody's ever gone to space, so it doesn't matter. And
No one has ever gone to space?
We've had that conversation.
You've been there a lot. I think you're there now.
I hate you. Gayle King. Why would they send, like, these elderly people? Like, Gayle King, she did not go to no damn space.
Not elderly. They said
Guys.
the senior citizen bus tour.
I know, she felt all of that in her knees. That little trip.
Pressure. Yeah. That's great. Okay, so maybe they didn't do it. I don't know.
Not maybe, they didn't.
Maybe they didn't. If you're needing to take a break from the ridiculousness that is taking place in the White House, I would highly recommend checking out comedian Josh Johnson. He's known for his storytelling and sharp observations. Johnson's stand-up specials and podcasts have garnered a dedicated following. Let's take a look at some of his work.
I thought he would know whether or not he meant what he said anytime he speaks, just for himself, not for us. I understand. The man can lie, but this in your head just for you is where I don't think you should be able to fool yourself. I don't think you should be able to trick yourself that way. If you said it, you alone in your head in your room of one should know what you mean when you say it. And I know that doesn't make sense, but it makes as much sense as the tariffs because it is in his head by himself. So, yeah. That was the thing. That was the thing. And then he, reversed the tariffs on a bunch of countries, except he increased the tariffs on China because they had increased the tariffs on us in the wake of that thing happening. So then it was really just my dad can beat up your dad. I didn't forget you from before, so just know that my dad can beat up your dad. And then China was like, you don't look. China made a statement early into the little tariff trade war where they were like, if the U.S. wants a trade war or any other type of war, we're ready and we'll fight to the end. And that's a lot. That's a lot. I thought we were talking about numbers.
Funny. He's really good at storytelling. He just posted that 4 hours ago, so I ain't seen that one.
Oh, so you just showed us a clip that we...
But he's funny. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because all of his stand-ups are so funny that...
How many of his stand-ups you seen?
I've seen a lot of things on TikTok. I guess I should log into Netflix and see if he's there.
Yeah, you should go and see if he's actually funny before reporting it to the people.
He's definitely funny. Okay. He's like white people funny too. Like, they accept him. So yeah, he's funny.
He's like white people funny?
Yeah.
Do we find white people's comedy funny?
I've
never seen an episode of
He caters to everybody is what I'm trying to say. And it's still funny and he's accepting.
Do you watch Friends?
No. I watch Girlfriends.
Point taken. I see why you got ChatGPT as your therapist.
ChatGPT is not my therapist.
She told me it was her therapist.
She's my best friend. Hi, Kendra. I named her. I did.
I told you was out of space. I told you.
Listen, if I pay for her, I can give her a name.
Heard a couple of people say that once before. If you pay for it, you can call it what you want to.
Oh, gosh.
You pay for it, you can call it what you want. On April 15th, 2025, a shooting occurred at Wilmer Hutchings High School in Dallas, Texas, where a 17-year-old suspect, Tracy Denard Haynes Jr., allegedly opened fire, injuring 4 male students. Surveillance footage indicates that Haynes was let into the school through an unsecured door by another student. Once inside, he reportedly walked down a hallway and began shooting at a group of students. targeting one at point-blank range. Haynes fled the scene, but later turned himself into authorities. He has been charged with 4 counts of aggravated assault in a mass shooting and is being held on a $600,000 bond. All injured students are expected to recover. The incident has raised concerns about school security measures as it marks the second shooting at this school in just over a year.
That is crazy, the second shooting.
Yeah.
You could just have that video playing while you read.
Yeah, I will, but it's, second shooting in at one school. You know what's even more amazing? How well I was able to read through that without one mess up. I want to let y'all know I did that in one take. Not to take any shine away from the story, but I am really growing in my...
These kids were shot, and you over here talking about I'm hooked on phonics? What the fuck? Why did you just take that moment? What is wrong with you?
I was proud of myself for 10 seconds.
How about we are proud that they all survived?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jesus, for saving those kids.
You are an idiot.
You know what? It's rubbing off. Yeah. It's
No,
rubbing off over here.
that's stupidity.
I used
You
to be
created
a kind,
all on your own.
caring, loving individual, and now I'm kind of self-centered, and it's your fault.
I'm glad you can read. At 45, you should be able to.
45.
Anyway.
You're fired again.
In recent weeks, a series of viral TikTok videos have surfaced featuring individuals claiming to be Chinese manufacturers who produce luxury handbags for renowned European brands. These videos allege that many high-end bags, such as those from Hermes, is it Hermes or Hermes or... I can't afford it, so I can't speak it.
Right, that makes sense.
Louis Vuitton, I can afford them. Gucci and Prada are manufactured in China and then labeled as made in Italy or made in France before sold at premium prices. The purported aim is to expose the significant markups imposed by luxury brands and to encourage consumers to purchase directly from Chinese factories at a fraction of the cost. So far, no luxury brands have responded to disprove these claims.
They're definitely made in China.
Yeah, everything is pretty much.
Yep. And that's did you see that video of there's a TikTok video circulating about dude was explaining how we can't blame China and the trade for where we're at financially, because he said that both the U.S. and China has benefited from the tariff agreement that they have, right? Mm-hmm. But their government took the money that they were making from the trade and they put it back into their system. Mm-hmm. Our government took it and made tax breaks for the billionaires and starved out the middle class, mm-hmm. and they bought their yachts and all that, and that's the reason why our middle class is broke down. He said, y'all did this to yourself. Don't blame us.
I hate that. I hate
the fact that he's right?
Yeah. No, I don't hate the fact that he's right. Mm-hmm. But I hate that, like, they know more than we know. And we living in the land of the free. It ain't shit free here. And we are getting played. Like, the Chinese guy was like, y'all call him your president, but he's really your master. like y'all are not free. Y'all are on leashes.
And they're a dictatorship, right? Or they're not a dictatorship.
No.
They're not a free country. They're a, what do you call it? You would know. I'm asking you. Somebody tell me what it is that China is. I don't remember.
They're the makers of all of our things. That's all.
Pretty much. They own everything.
They said that, like, they only
communist. Is China not a communist country?
Sure.
Well, here we are at IYDK, not knowing anything. So if you don't know, we don't know.
You shouldn't ask questions that we both don't know the answer to. Let's just keep that in mind. But no, they say that they pay rent quarterly. Like every 3 months they pay rent, and their rent prices are so reasonable, like $600 for like a 3-bedroom.
That's crazy.
Somebody in the comments was like, talking about how they're lying about everything being made over there or whatever. Mm-hmm. And the Chinese guy shut all of that down. He was like, why are y'all so worried about working? We don't have to worry about that over here. Y'all are so caught up in having to work. Like, damn,
But that gives credence to what the other video was saying, what the other dude was saying, how our government has robbed us, has ripped apart the middle class by making by taking all the funds that they were getting from these breaks and all of that, giving it to the billionaires.
No lube.
Yeah.
No lube.
With the spike then. Yep.
It's pretty messed up.
Kansas City has officially solidified its reputation as a barbecue capital with the opening of the Museum of Barbecue, the world's first museum entirely dedicated to the art and culture of barbecue, located at Crown Center, 2400 Grand Boulevard, Suite 231. The museum opened its doors on April 12, 2025, offering an immersive and interactive experience that celebrates the rich traditions of American barbecue.
I'm not a huge barbecue fan.
I'm not either, but I get my hankerings. You know, I get my. Matter of fact, I just had some.
What is a hankering?
You know what?
Hey Siri.
Yeah, ask Siri.
What is a hankering?
A hankering is a strong desire or craving for something. This answer is from thickintentauthority.com.
Why does she sound like that? My Siri don't sound like that.
Because mine is modern, yours is probably ancient anyway.
Yeah, now you've learned.
I've
now
learned.
You too can be hooked on phonics.
So, you know, I wonder if crackheads be like, I have a hankering for crack. Just, you know, just learn something new every day. Yeah, so barbecue.
How'd you go from barbecue to crack?
I don't know.
Only on this show.
Because it said strong desire. They're the only ones who like really have that. They be hula hooping and stuff. They're so talented.
What street are you saying crackheads hula hooping? Space. Again. Outer space. I knew you've been there.
That's all from us here at CMC Studios. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and
share.
Until next time, I'm Taisha.
And I'm the indelible Rod Carter.
And if you don't know,
now you know.